Hi, happy Friday everybody. We're back again. We're going over the hill this time. We're coming back down the other side. Apologise if you can hear music and stuff behind. My husband is downstairs having a run on the treadmill. So I decided if he was doing that, I was going to come and do some sewing. So we're on week 26 going down the other side. So I thought we would do a tree. I love trees. It's all I can see outside my studio. But I thought more about thinking about trees that kids draw, so really sort of like simple shapes, of just like having a trunk. And you get the ones that are like cloud shapes, you can get ones that are a bit like lollipop, like your conifer type shapes. You can get ones that look a little bit like a lollipop if you're going to go that sort of shape. They could have more of a base on the bottom and go up. So we're just looking at a really simplified tree shape, and then we're just going to add some decoration to our tree. So they could be any sort of shape really. So you can see I've got some fabrics. I've gone for greens. So I thought I'd do a bit of a green one. Now we're coming back the other way, so this is where you've got a little bit of an option with your bunting. So I've pulled down flag number 1. Oh, it says 10. Oh nuts, that means I've glued them on the wrong way around. Oh, what a nightmare. Should have checked that beforehand. So I've got flag number 1, so hopefully, oh great, they've not stuck. So I can re-stick them back on. So what I've done is I've used a craft knife just to pull the hearts off the pegs that I've got left. So I'm going to stick them on the other way. Now you could just carry on, but my bunting has got quite big. It goes right the way across my window now. So I thought it'd be quite nice actually, because it means then you can see, even though I say you can see from the inside and the outside, you can't see from the outside at all because we're on the second floor. But I'm flipping it round. So there's number 1. So I'm now doing number 27 is going to go on the back of that one. So I've chosen my fabric, so I've got a little bit of fabric that I've popped a little bit of Bonder web on the back to make leaves. I just think that'll be a little bit easier. I've got backing fabric, I've got my tree fabric. Now I've got a little bit of the wadding that I used a couple of weeks ago, because I thought actually it might be quite nice to pad my tree up a little bit maybe. I don't know, no idea what's going on. So I've got a stripy fabric for my background, so I think I'm going to have the lines going horizontally. So let's get this cut out. I've got a pen in my hand, I'll just draw around that. Just don't say anything. I'm hoping this will work. It might be that I change my mind because I'm not sure what this fabric is like if I cut to that point, because what I don't want is for it all to just suddenly go and fray on me. So we'll see what happens. It might be I have to cut it the other way, or actually what I could do to stop that is I could grab another little bit of Bonder web and bond it on the, actually yeah, I'll do that because I wanted the lines to go across. So what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of Bonder web. So to stop it from fraying, I'm just going to iron a bit of Bonder web. I'll just stop that from fraying. I'm not going to peel the paper off the back. Leave the paper on for now, unless I need to peel it off. But that will just stop that bit from fraying. Let's give it an iron. Make sure it's definitely going to stay. There we go. Also a little patch on the back. Right, so tree shape. So that's that one. Move that out of the way. Okay, so I'll get my fabric that I'm going to use for my tree. On the back, I'm going to draw my flag, so then I can sort of see where I think I want the tree to fit on. So now I'm going to have a little tub and my stalk is going to go up there. It's going to go across because I'm going to pad it out a little bit. I'm just going to take it a little bit wider, I think. So you could go really stylised with your tree if you wanted to. I just fancy doing something like this because I want to do like sections of leaves on there. Sorry about the music. I hadn't realised I'd got it on so loud. Okay, so hopefully I'll just drown him out. Right, let's cut this out. Now initially I was going to bond this on, but then I had the idea of having a little bit of padding behind it. I think it'll be quite cute actually, just to have it stood off the surface. So again, hopefully this is going to work. We shall see, and it'll give it a bit more of a quilted feel. So what I'm going to do is, before I stitch it onto the background or attach it to the background, I'm going to actually put my leaves on because I'm going to iron them on. There we go. Okay. There's the bottom. That's quite cute. This reminds me of things like this. There used to be a programme that I used to watch called Chorlton and the Wheelies. A little old lady that used to be on it. It was one of my favourite TV programmes. Absolutely loved it. Right, so I'll just mark that out on there because I want to cut this a little bit smaller. Because if I go right to the very edge, I'm not going to have a bit that will go down to be able to stitch, because I only want the middle bit really being padded. So I feel like I'm building a snowman. A bit smaller. So I hope we're all well on this lovely Friday. Go. That's cute. Right, okay, so move them out of the way. Okay. That might even have to be maybe a little bit smaller. There. We've got a bit of queen going on now. He's obviously going for it downstairs. Oh dear. Right, so I now want leaf shapes. So let's have a look. I'll go like that. I think. See how that looks like. I've said this before, I'm never quite sure what scissors to use when I've got Wonderweb on, because it's paper and fabric. This feels very naughty, using my scissors to cut out, and there's paper on there as well. Feels very naughty. There we go. That's going to go there. Kind of cute. Right, and I want a few more of them. Pop that on as my little template. Now we're going full on queen now. Oh God, he's turned it up even more. I'll have to just speak louder, he must have got to a hill. Going up a hill. Let's fold that over. Do a double cut. Yep, even though I said to him, oh, if you're going to go for a run, I'm going to do some filming. I didn't think he would have his thing on so loud. I don't know, I apologise. Unfortunately, I don't just live in the house on my own. Normally it's the kids doing the yelling, or Mum, where's this? Mum, where's that? But no. This week it's my hubby. Oh, and I can now hear the cat. Oh my god. Everything, we're losing the plot. That is getting just a little bit excessive, Robert. I might have to nip downstairs and ask him just to turn it down just a tad. Hold on a second. Right, got that far. I'm going to pause it. I'll be back in 1 second. Right, I'm back. Apparently I hadn't said that I was recording. I think you'll find that I did say that I was recording. Goodness me. What a noisy Arab. Right. Next one. So, again, it is definitely a little bit like children's drawings, simplifying it down, really simple shapes. But obviously, like I always say, I'm like a broken record. There we go. You can do this however you want to do it. Oops. Helps if you cut all the fabric. There we go. Oh, they're cute. Then it's going to be a case of assembling it and decorating it with stitch. Oh, I need to put the base on. So I've got a few bits out for that. Oh god, the cat's now meowing. Got a very needy cat. There we go. Right, move all these bits out of the way. There. Oh, a bit of a messy week this week. Right, so there we've got my basic little tree. Kind of cute. Right, let's hang it on. So, take your backing off. You don't have to use Bonder Web. If you've got a fabric glue, use that. You can just pin them in place and then stitch them if you want to. I tend to do this because then they ain't gonna move. Oh. And because they're really fiddly little bits and pieces, it can be a bit of a pain trying to hold them and trying to stitch them at the same time. I feel like I need to sing to you now. Got the Eye of the Tiger, and I can remember that was a piece that I did for my music GCSE. I used to play the organ and the cello when I was younger. I did the Eye of the Tiger for my duet. I did it with one of the other people that were on the course. He played the keyboard and I played my organ. So I had an organ that had it was a double organ with foot pedals and everything. There we go. So there's my little tree. It's kind of cute. Right, so little tree. Going to go into little tree land. I pulled out some, quite like that little check. I thought that'd be quite cute for my little base. Make it a bit thinner maybe. Oops. Oh. I was going to have that as my little base. And then I've got a little bit of lace that I'd found that's got a really cute bit that would down to the bottom. Oh, look at that, that's very cute. Do that in there. Oh, look at that. How pretty is that? That's just delightful. I don't even know if I need that stuffing a bit now. Do I need that? No, I'm not going stuffing. Get rid of the stuffing. Right, So, and I'm definitely going V shape. That's definitely going on there. Right. Pin it on, don't try and cut it. Pin it in place and flip it over. That's better. Trim it. There we go. Trim. Oops, if you're not trying to cut through a pin. Oh dearie me. Right, that's going to go there. So I've got a thread, a green thread. So what I might just do is along this top bit, just using the lace as inspiration, just to go through the holes. Okay. So I'm just going to use the holes in the lace just to pop my stitching in. Do a little running stitch across the top, and then what I'll probably do is get a white cotton thread and just couch down the rest of it, because I don't really want to be able to see. This is like the horizon on my piece. There we go. Sorry, you can still hear the music. I can't turn it down anymore. Just have to put up with what sounds like it's a rock track that the class is using. Yeah, well, keeps him out of trouble. There we go. Right, so that's alright like that. Bring that back to the middle. I should be able to tuck that. That didn't go through there. Oh, okay. Tuck that back there. Then get my little trunk, which is going to go there. Grab another pin. Bring that straight. There we go. Right. I've got like it's a tiny little checkered piece of fabric, so I'll go downwards. I'll go downwards. Just catch this down. There we go. It's always nice to take inspiration from the fabric that you use when you're stitching. It can help as well, because oh my god, oh I've got something through Bondweb. It can sort of help as well with how you're going to stitch. So it's like, usually if you use like little grids and things like this, you've got the patterns in it, so it could end up being a cross stitch or a running stitch. It just means you can just really start to play around with the stitching that you're using. So I just want to stitch this down just so it's holding it in place, and then I'm going to use the same thread just to stitch my tree on. I know it's going to overlap, so I don't need to go right to the top. That's where kind of the tree is going to go, so I just do another stitch, and I'll probably come and do some more stitching on this, because it's quite pretty fabric. Just do a big stitch at the top just to hold it in place. Weird how my needle wants to go through sometimes and then not others. Very strange. Needle, one down here. Right, then to stitch my tree on, so seeing as I'm not using the padding, I could Bondweb it on, but the thing that happens sometimes with Bondweb is everything goes really flat, and I don't particularly want it to go totally flat. So there we go. Now get my little tree. It's got to go on central. So I'm going to use a little tacking stitch all the way around, and then I'll do some slightly more decorative stitches actually on the tree. So I'll be stitching like the trunk and the branches and things like that on there. So to stitch it on, I'm going to come up at the background and then go down on my tree. I'm not going to come up the tree. So when you're trying to attach something and applique on, it always works better if you come up the background and then down on the bit of fabric that you're attaching. Just makes it a little bit neater. It's also a little bit easier to do as well, because you're not then trying to gauge where you're coming up from in that backing piece. So I'm going to go like maybe every half centimetre or so all the way around. Oops. So I'm just doing this tiny little stitch, so I'm coming up on the outside and then down on my tree. So I'm just doing this little stitch all the way around. Okay, so I'll do a quick fast forward version of this and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so I've got all that stitched down and I've done a little bit of tacking stitches just around the bottom of that lace to fix it on, and then at the top I've just done a little bit like it's like a fake bias binding. So it's a little strip of fabric that I've popped face down and done a little running stitch, and then I've ironed it up and over, so it'll create like a really nice little top to my piece. Normal bias binding, then you turn that under and stitch it down so you've encased it, but we're not going to see the back, so I'm just cheating a little bit and just folding it over. Just pop a pin in there just to hold it in place, and then that'll get sorted once it gets stitched onto our actual flag. Right, so the last little bit then is going to be a little bit of decorating on my tree. So I've got a brown thread that I was going to do a little stitch just in the middle. Leaves. We'll do a little bit like a fly stitch. So I've done that down a little bit. Done one little stitch there, brought it up at one side, and if we go down at the other, and then back up in the middle, up, and then I can attach that down. And then do a little back stitch down my tree. Then I'm going to do the same on each one of my leaves. So, done where the middle one is. Oops. A stitch down to your point. That's there. Up at one side. Down at the other. And then back up at the bottom of your first stitch. Make sure that thread goes underneath to create your Y shape. And then down. This is where the Bonder web really helps with those little leaf shapes, because you've got really small ones, there can be a tendency that the edges will fray, especially once you start stitching. So hopefully the idea with the Bonder web is it will just hold it all together. It feels like it's coming back off again, just give it a bit of a press from the back. It's kind of cute. What I want to do this time is I'm going to take this side out here, because obviously I've got my wider trunk at the bottom. Take this out to that side. Do that one. Stitch that. It's quite naive art. A little bit Scandinavian, I suppose. So you could look at things like that to give you inspiration if you're stuck for ideas. So take that down to that side. And then that one to there. Then I'll do the other side of that little trunk, and then I might do some of the brown on the little trunk at the bottom. I think I'm going to have to probably rethread my needle. I'll probably not place this one quite in the right place. Hey ho, that's how the cookie crumbles. So that's going to be there. I might have enough thread. Just do a back stitch. Cover up that side. Maybe I might have enough. Ow. Stab myself. It's funny, this fabric, because I think the backing fabric, if you just get your needle going down in the wrong bit, it doesn't want to go down. Right, tell that up to join that. There we go. It's a bit of a funny trunk. Probably got a bit of fabric at the bottom, a little bit too thick, but I'm not that worried. Tie that off at the back. There we go. That's quite cute. I don't mind that at all. Might do some stitching down there, try and join that in. Anyway, so then I've got myself a little yellow thread. That'd be quite nice to maybe pop some little French knots in and amongst, as if they're little flowers. So your French knot, you're pointing your needle and your thread away, 1, 2, 3, and then back down the hole. Some of these could be on the leaves. Just dotted about, just to add a little bit of colour there. I'm glad I didn't do my little wadding in the background, because I think that probably would have made it quite tricky to stitch. Oh, it's looking kind of cute. may say I heard anybody knocking on the door saying what's for tea. Well, mind you, if they know the dad's on a treadmill, there's not going to be any tea until he's finished. Feels like Friday. Well, I'm saying it feels like Friday. It is Friday when you're watching this. I'm stitching this on a Thursday. And it does feel like Friday. I think it's probably because I've gone and got pizzas. I've had a bonkers week at work this week. I always think it's gets quieter in teaching leading up to the summer holidays because you've got year groups that are no longer in school, but definitely feels like it's getting back to normal at work because trips are beginning to run, and once trips run you end up covering lots of other lessons for other teachers that are on trips, so it's still quite busy, but we're trying to get ready as well for next year. So, mind you, I don't know whether or not I've mentioned this in any of the other videos, but I am cutting my hours in September. So my plan, my long-term plan, feels like it's beginning to happen. So thank you for supporting me via Ko-fi. I know it's quite a difficult choice actually to do this and ask people to subscribe. I didn't know if anybody would, but I am very grateful to everybody that is subscribing and has been here since the beginning of January. Thank you if you're new as well. You've only just found the challenges. But to get to September, I'll be planning what's going to happen next year. So I'm going to carry on doing online things for subscribers. So thank you for supporting me. I hope you'll carry on next year. I've already got lots of ideas in my head. Still focused around hand stitching and mindfulness and little bits to do. That is what kind of exciting. Looking forward just to having the time really as well. Lots of ideas flying around my head, and I'll be able to come out. Goodness knows what will happen then. Total chaos. There we go. Oh, look at that. I don't even mind that trunk thing now, even though it's not ideal. That's kind of cute. Look at that. So there we have it, little tree. So what I'll do is that'll get attached onto there. So that's the next bit then that was quite excited. I was quite excited about getting them coming all the way around. So I'm going to attach that onto there, and then I'm going to come back with a last little bit in a second. Okay, see you in a minute. Right, I'm back again. I'm very, very excited about this. This was something that I thought about doing when I decided to do my flags double-sided, but obviously it's taken half a year to get around to doing the other side. So I've got it attached on, so I've just done like I normally do, a bit of glue at the back, just stitched it in the corners. So then because we've got a double flag, we're going to glue it together so you're not going to see what was on the inside. So I'm just going to run the glue stick just down the middle. There we go. Oops. And then glue the two flags together. Okay. Then, this is the bit I was excited about, is I'm going to do a little tassel off each one. that I end up doing. So what I need to do is I've got my pokey stick somewhere. What did I do with that? Oh, I could just use a big needle. Big needle. So I want to pop a hole through to the other side. Okay, right, so I've got my thread. I'm going to bring that through from the back. I've popped a little knot at the back, and then what I'm going to do is do some little beads. So I've checked that my needle will go through the little beads, so I'm going to make a little dangly bit. Down to the bottom. I don't know if the silver, I didn't check the silver ones. Oh yeah, they go through. And then I've got this one here that's got like a little point on. So that's going to be my bit at the end. And then what I want to try and do is take my needle back up. This is the bit I don't know if it'll work. Normally I'd use a beading needle for this. But I just thought, oh no, it's going up. There we go. So I've gone down to the bottom. Oh, you can't see, sorry. I've gone down to the bottom, gone through that bit of the bottom. So if you haven't got things like that, you can just have a bead at the bottom, but you just need one that's going to anchor it. And then you just pull your thread. So it pulls it up. I'm not going to go right to the top because I do want it to dangle down. Dangly, dangly. There we go. Put that back through the back. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through one side, go to the other side, oops, and then through. Oops. Side. There we go. So I've sort of like made a little bit of a U shape at the bottom. But what that then gives me at the back is it then just gives me a little bit just to scoot through, create a loop, and then tie it off the back, and then I can just trim the threads. Look at that! How cute is that with a little dangly dangly? So there we go, we're on our way back the other side. So I'm going to do a little tassel on the bottom of each one as I'm going along. So there we have it. We're going back the other way. How exciting. So there you go. That's this month. Not this month, this week. And yep, we're off. We're off and running again. Different ideas, lots of other things coming up. Oh, is it next month? Oh no, you're going to need some beads next week. And you also need to have been saving all your threads in your Art jar, because we're going to do an Art one in a couple of weeks. So make sure you're saving all your threads, and that'll be our messy one in a few weeks' time. So there we go. Happy stitching, everybody. Happy Friday, and I'll see you same time, same place next week. Mwah.